The worst thing about raising baby chicks is surprise roosters. I really hate painful surprises, and I fall in love with all my animals, so a rooster that I know that I can't keep is something I like to avoid. You can expect to have at least half males when hatching your own eggs, but the hatchery and farm store are known to make mistakes when sexing pullets for you. They have professionals that actually go to school to learn how to vent sex baby chicks, but they're fallible, and even when you buy already sexed chicks, you have the chance of getting a boy in your brood. I always figure that if I can prepare for it early, then it won't be as painful when I have to let them go. So yeah, during my own Roo watch over the summer raising my brood of already sexed Golden Laced Wyandotte pullets, while suffering from OCD Rooxiety that family farm and home could have possibly given me a dude, I did a lot of research on how to determine the males from females in Wyandottes as early as possible. Many times you will be able to tell within 4 to 5 weeks, but you should definitely be able to tell the gender of your baby chicks by 8 to 12.
Methinks we've got a rooster right there.
Wyandotte chickens are a little trickier to identify their sex than many of your other common breeds, but there are some key things that can be a dead giveaway that you need to be looking out for. During Roo Watch, I become a detective. There's always going to be exceptions to these rules, but I track all of these main characteristics in my brooder. Combs and wattles. Wyandottes get what is called a rose comb. It doesn't get really tall like you would think a typical rooster comb would be. It stays really kind of flat into their forehead. By about 4 to 6 weeks, if I notice that the color and size of the comb is larger, reddish, and there are reddish wattles on either side of their face visible, then there's definitely significant rooster potential. But if the comb starts to develop really fast within the next few weeks after turning bright red, it probably is a rooster, because pullets' combs won't progress until she gets closer to laying age, and then it'll start to raise from her head and start to turn a little bit more red, about 15 or so weeks.
Look at that. Nay has the smallest comb, and we thought she might be a rooster in the beginning. Silly us. We didn't know anything, did we, Nay? Not a thing.
And their feather color and pattern. Cockerels' patterns are more blotchy, and a given sign of a male is large blocks of one color. The Wyandotte cockerels will most likely have a less defined, more chaotic, random lacing pattern. There's always exceptions to that, depending on the genetics of your bird, but if you have a blotchy bird, it's probably a rooster. Pullets will have a very even, deliberate, symmetrical pattern with less areas of solid color and a clear, high-definition lacing pattern. And it would seem that the Silver Laced Wyandotte variety is a lot like the Golden Laced Wyandotte. It's just the white and the gold are interchangeable. The cockerel tends to have more blotchy white patches on his wings and shoulders instead of the gold color that a Golden Laced Wyandotte cockerel would have. That is also our experience with the 2 mixed Silver Laced Wyandotte cockerels that we have raised and the 1 Silver Laced Wyandotte hen. Their leg size and the way they stand. Cockerels tend to have larger, thicker legs and stand more upright, and pullets will usually stand with their chest closer to the ground and have a more feminine, daintier legs and features. Mature roosters get spurs on their legs that continue to grow longer into adulthood. In their behavior and personality, your potential roosters are usually more assertive, dominant, aggressive, intelligent, affectionate, guardians, and leaders. They may sit on the top of the brooder as a guard dog and make sure that everyone made it to bed. If they view a threat, they will stand between the danger and the rest of the flock, and even round up the girls and make danger alert sounds.
Hey, Tay.
They may call the flock to food, especially when treats are given, or if they discover snacks while foraging.
Oh.
And lastly, the feather shape and characteristics. Cockerels and roosters have long pointed feathers, and pullets and hens have shorter, rounder feathers. As the cockerel matures, his adult feathers come in, and that is when you will know for sure if you have a rooster. Eventually, they will develop long, cascading, arched sickle feathers in their tails. Yet hens don't get those. Some Easter egger hens will get feathers that resemble sickle feathers and fake you out and freak you out. But many breeds of Easter eggers can be sexed by color patterns, and a telltale sign of an Easter egger rooster is rusty blotches on his shoulders and wings, which is pretty much true and common for many breeds of roosters. The neck feathers, also known as hackles, will be very pointed on a male. However, they are more rounded on females. A rooster's adult saddle feathers are long, straight, pointed, and wispy. They lay flat to his hip and drape downward. But a hen has fluffy, short, rounded saddle feathers that don't lay on her body, but they puff up into a little hen bump that flows into the contours of her short, neatly fanned, triangular, wedged-shaped tail. Eventually, your rooster will crow, and the hens will lay eggs. But hopefully, by applying these clues ahead of time, you will know well before any of that happens. If you have birds resembling multiple of these on the list, the higher potential is it's a rooster. I always pray for pullets. I'm convinced that that is what helps. Thank you, Jesus, that we got all ladies this year. God bless and happy chicken keeping. I hope your favorites end up growing into hens.
If you like this video, you might like this one too.
That's why when mountains move, I say, looks like somebody prayed.